Hey guys, good evening. This is Echo 24 Firearms and Gear. This is Ed here. I have a little something special for you today. This is a Sig Sauer P320 that I custom built about 8 months ago. Enjoy it, and excuse me for the airplane noises in the background. I do live over here by Charlotte, North Carolina, by Lake Norman, so I get a lot of air traffic overhead. It's a beautiful evening. We just got a little bit of rain and it's cool outside, so I wanted to step outside a little bit and enjoy that nice breeze. Enjoy the video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. All right, guys, before we jump into this, just take one more last look at this. This gun is gorgeous. I'm very impressed with what I did here, but this all evolved because of this Icarus Precision SOCOM grip module. I learned about this from Tactical Considerations. If you haven't seen any of his content, go ahead and check him out. He has some pretty cool stuff on there. I enjoy watching his stuff. But he introduced me to Icarus Precision, and I went on there and I started looking at the grip modules. And I ended up honing in on the SOCOM full-size grip module. It is an aluminum grip. It does have stippling etched right into the side of it and everything else. I don't have any issues controlling the firearm. As you can see, chamber is empty, magazine is empty, completely unloaded firearm. We'll get in a little closer here. So this Icarus Precision grip is an aluminum grip, and the machining of this grip is remarkable. I actually watched like a 20-minute video on an interview with Icarus Precision, and I don't recall where I watched it at, but there's only a handful of videos by Icarus Precision on YouTube last I checked, so it's not very difficult to find. It's just the longest one. The machining on here is great. There are no hard edges, no sharp edges, no hard edges. It's extremely lightweight. It doesn't add too much weight to the firearm at all. Realistically, the heaviest thing of this firearm is the 22-round magazine. So after I got the grip module in, I went ahead and I went looking for the fire control group by Sig. That is the trigger and your serialized part that allows you to customize these Sig pistols. I had a little difficulty finding it because it was back ordered and sold out everywhere, but I was able to pick one up relatively quickly. After picking up the fire control group, then I went ahead and I got the 3.9-inch Pro Cut slide by Sig Sauer. It's got the window cuts on the top, it's got the window cuts on the side. I just bought it because it looked cool. That was the main reason for me building this pistol, just to make it look cool, so I just kind of kept that momentum going. I have the 5.5-inch threaded barrel on here. I have the Surefire XH30 high output Masterfire light. I do use the Surefire Masterfire holster. I'll do a review on that later on, but that's why I currently have this light. I have the Sig Sauer gas pedal on here. Wasn't sure what I thought about it. Didn't have an opinion whether I would hate it or love it, but I got it to try out, and I actually enjoy it. I wouldn't be throwing it on my EDC pistols or anything because it is quite gaudy. It is pretty big on there. Kind of gets in the way of things depending on the holsters and everything. Some holsters may have to be manipulated to fit that in there and everything. But every once in a while, just to throw it on one of my larger builds or something, I definitely recommend it. I do enjoy it. It's a nice rest for the for your thumb, and it does reduce recoil. I also shoot pretty fast or fairly quickly, and it does help mitigate those recoils on the double or triple taps that I may do. So this grip module has a built-in magazine well. This built-in magazine well, I never encountered any type of hang-ups or snags trying to get the magazine in and out of the firearm. I'll kind of demonstrate it a little bit for you. So like if you were coming in hard this way, it just kind of makes its way home and slides home. Locks in with a positive lock every single time with a full magazine. If I came in the other way, like it's really hard for me to just try to hang it up. It just kind of slides home every which way I do it. So coming in this way, slides home. If I was coming in through the front, it'll slide home. Here, I'll do it from this angle, coming in from the front. Slides home. And then from the back, if I was coming in at an odd angle, it just slides home every single time. I'm very impressed with this whole beveled well for the magazine. So you may think, feeling the grip texture on the side, that your hand may slide off of this. It does have different diamond grooves going different directions, but that's not what I'm going to hone in on. If you physically look at the grip itself, it's actually narrower up here, and as it drops down, it gets wider. So when you physically have positive control over this firearm, you cannot slide down, because as it gets wider, it's just tapered just enough as it goes further down to where your hand cannot slide. It's a well thought out product. So coming into the trigger here, see if you can see the take up and the break. So that's your take up right there. And then kind of sponge, 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 break. Let's go ahead and reset it here. There's your reset. It kind of shoots forward from there. Then it's sponge, 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 break. I don't know, it's probably 5.5 pounds, maybe less than that. If there's one thing I don't like about this firearm, it's that trigger. I think all the P320s, all the lineups, all up and down, I feel the trigger relatively feels the same, and I am not very impressed with the triggers. Mainly because of that whole, all right, I come to the wall, sponge, 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 break. And then when I reset, I like a trigger that pushes me back. Like it wants me to reset that trigger. And with the SIGs, I mean, it wants you to reset the trigger, but it's not really fighting you to get in there. It almost feels like I physically have to release a significant enough pressure to allow it to start kicking forward, but it doesn't make my finger get there. There's other pistols out there with a remarkable trigger. This is for a different review, but the CZ P10C, for example, I think that is a remarkable pistol, especially for the price, and that trigger is absolutely remarkable out of the box. But I'll save that for another day. I have read that you can add different triggers to this fire control group that would make the trigger a little better, but it wouldn't be completely unrecognizable. It would still be that same trigger that you remember before. It just wouldn't be as pronounced. So I did not move forward with getting that trigger installed. I'll continue to play with this one for the time being. The Steiner MPS. I bought this when it was brand new. I mean, as soon as it released, I ordered it. It was back ordered for some time, and eventually it did come in when they started shipping them. I'm drawing a blank on where I got the actual optics plate from, but it was pretty easy to find. It has the same footprint as the Aimpoint Acro. For my 6 to 7 months of using this optic, I'm very impressed with it. I still want to play with it, manipulate it, really get a feel for the optic a little bit more before I create a review on it. But I am very impressed with it, and it does look cool. I'll go ahead, I'll roll some footage. into this video on me shooting this pistol here at the end. I probably have about 2,500, maybe 3,000 rounds for this firearm. For the majority of this year, when I built this pistol, ammo has been very expensive. I purchased my own ammo and everything else. So I'm not able to put the amount of ammunition through it that I wish that I could. Now that ammo is starting to come further down in price, by the way, Freedom Munitions I think has 9mm for like $13.50 for a box of 50 right now. I think that is absolutely remarkable for 124 grain full metal jackets. And I shoot a lot of Freedom Munitions, and I don't even know if I've ever encountered any real issues with them. That is like my main go-to place to order ammunition. So we'll just go ahead and just kind of give you an up close and personal look at this firearm one more time. I'll go ahead and swing the camera around so you can look through the MPS if you were curious. At the end of the day, I would recommend Sig to anybody. I would recommend this build to anybody. I think it's a remarkable shooting pistol. I do enjoy taking it to the range. I do enjoy running this pistol. The Icarus Precision Grip, I'd also recommend this to anybody. Anybody who wants something different. I know a lot of us all have polymer frame pistols and polymer framed grip modules and stuff like that. If you have a P320, if you have the 365, they do have aluminum grip modules for those two pistols that you can order through Icarus Precision, and I do highly recommend you check them out. Before I start rolling in the footage of me shooting this pistol, I want to make a shout out to 1776 Tactical in Concord, North Carolina. They're a veteran-owned and operated tactical gun store that opened up last year on Veterans Day. I use them quite frequently the past year for any of my firearm purchases, for any of my gear, accessories, and they're just great guys just to hang around with. If you're from this region, you just want to go hang out, you know, go shoot the shit with these guys. They do have coffee there. Walk in, get yourself a cup of coffee. I know Shane in there very well. I know Derek well. I know Adam very well. These are all great guys, and they're well knowledgeable and well versed. And I'll go ahead and link a description, put a link in the description as well, so you can easily find these guys. But go ahead and enjoy my clips on shooting this firearm. And if you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and shoot them in the comments below. And go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate that. And you guys have a fine American evening. Thank you.